we need to pray for Israel. If you're not knowing what's going on, yesterday on Yom Kippur, they were attacked by Hamas, which is an Iran-supported army. So basically, Iran attacked Israel yesterday, reading that Israel has officially, by parliamentary procedure, declared war with Hamas, which is basically war with Iran. And so they will be at war and are at war. Next week, I'm going to share about the way of the watchman, and I'm going to talk about 4 specific areas that we need to be paying attention to in our world that kind of tells us the status of our world. If I were going to tell you, it's one of those things I do on Wednesday nights called when I update people on the signs of the time. Next Sunday is going to be one of those messages. So let me just share with you, I posted this on Instagram, and a lot of people gravitated with it. This resulting attack is the result of weak leadership within our country. And it's not necessarily weak, it's deceptive leadership. Yesterday when I heard our president say, "We stand with Israel," I was reminded that he's also the guy that says, let's have a 2-state solution in Israel, which would give the Palestinians close to 400,000 homes that belong to Israel. The Palestinians are the ones that yesterday helped support this attack. One of the things they did, if you haven't read about this, there was a youth event that was called a nature camp or whatever, where these terrorists who infiltrated through the border of Israel, which is really tough, it's one of the most secure borders in the world. And they had been digging tunnels underneath this for months. This has been planned out for months, but yesterday they surrounded a group of teenagers and killed over 200 of them. They just surrounded them and just opened fire and killed them, over 200. They're dragging people out of their cars and their homes for hostage exploitation and hostage exchange. The Palestinians have often played themselves, we are the victims of this, and they're not. But I just want you to tell you there are 6 billion reasons why they've done that, because our president gave them $6 billion that we have held in escrow because they would not be nuclear compliant. And so we gave them $6 billion and a prisoner swap. We gave them back terrorist leaders. So when you hear our president say we stand with Israel, he's lying. And now some of you get offended and say, I don't like this church anymore. I don't care if it had been a Republican president or anybody that's done that. And by the way, it was under Republican watch that we gave them Gaza back. And that's where they fired the missiles from, is the Gaza Strip. Because we don't understand that Muslims would just as soon destroy Israel as anything else. This idea that the globalists have that we can live in a utopian society where we all get along and at peace with each other if we would just all get on the same page does not exist. It's a globalist agenda. And if you think that Russia is just out there doing nothing, Russia and Iran are in bed together. Russia wants a hot war. And so I'm not trying to scare you today, but I'll deal with this next week. But this is serious. We need to understand what's happening. And even though it's over there in the Middle East and you think there's nothing really has anything to do with us, you might want to rethink that. Because our borders have been wide open now for 3 years, and we have been infiltrated just as though Israel were infiltrated. We don't know who came across our border. We don't know where they're going. We don't know what they're doing. But they are not refugees. They are military-aged men for the most part, and they're coming into our country illegally. They don't have to tunnel in. They just have to walk in. And they're coming into our cities. They're coming into our places of business. They're everywhere. And they are not coming in here running from somewhere. They're coming here to do something. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So you need to be aware, okay? And you need to be praying for Israel. Because as that escalates, a lot of things happen. And so you just need to pay attention. I don't know what the prophetic implications of this are yet. It'll make it clear or whatever. But I do know that right now Israel is doing what Israel does. And they are a very well-trained military branch. And God's going to keep Israel. Israel's not going anywhere. Okay? They're not. So Israel's not going to lose.